Hello and welcome to the July Dairy Market Update. In this edition, we'll be taking a closer look at our production forecast for the 2019 to 2020 season. Our latest GB milk production forecast puts expected volumes for April 2019 to March 2020 at 12.56 billion litres. This is a very slight decrease from the initial figure we forecasted in March, but will still be the highest seasonal production for 29 years. The forecast for GB production is based on two main factors: the predicted milk yield per cow and the predicted number of cows in the milking herd. We'll look at yields first. As we've explored in previous videos, monthly figures for GB milk production were hitting 20-plus year highs from November through to April. There were concerns in the country of how high milk production would go into the spring peak, but actually, since the end of April, milk production has started to ease back. Production in the country peaked on the 23rd of April, which is the earliest peak we've had for at least 15 years. Despite the early peak and volumes starting to reduce, estimates suggest we still reached the highest May production for 16 years. Although this is still strong, it's not quite as exceptional as the months before it. The high milk volumes so far this year can be entirely attributed to higher than normal yields. In March and April, we estimate that yields per cow were up more than 7% compared with the year before. Some of that rise was due to the extremely poor weather in that part of 2018, but even in January and February, yields were more than 5% up. It is more normal for those annual increases to be around 1.5%. Yields remained relatively stable between April and May this year, which is unusual because they normally continue to rise. That will be one of the main reasons why peak production day was so early, and will be a direct result of the early spring. Going forwards, we expect yields to return to more normal levels compared with historic averages. Additionally, we have reduced our expectation of herd size for the October to December period based on trends seen in the latest available herd data. This has reduced the expected production in the trough months by 25 million litres. Although production in the British Isles has been high, the picture is quite different elsewhere. Global milk supply expectations have been reduced from 0.9% growth to 0.3% growth, with only modest growth in the EU. Continued access to the EU market for exports, at least until October, should help support market returns. However, a lack of storage capacity continues to be a concern for the domestic market. To keep up with how the dairy markets are developing, both here and globally, please visit the market section of the AHDB Dairy website.